Missouri State University has gifted a property totaling more than 2,600 square feet to the city of Springfield to use as a park, commemorating a piece of local and national history. At a special meeting this week, City Council voted unanimously to accept right-of-way from the university for construction of a birthplace of Route 66 Plaza at the southwest corner of Jefferson Avenue and Park Central East. City of Springfield says the site will bring new opportunities to learn the history of the highway ahead of its 100th birthday.
Then there will be an interpretive kiosk and some other additional historical information right there so that people, when they visit the birthplace, they learn the story, they get to see what the telegram looked like. A new sculpture is also being installed in downtown Springfield. It will be put up at St. Louis and Jefferson, where the historic Colonial Hotel sat until its demolition almost 30 years ago.